Welcome in to another edition of the JMU Sports News Podcast. I'm Bennett Conlon, joined by Jack Fitzpatrick, and the Dukes are 1-0. They're on their way to a national championship. It's exciting.
That's exactly right. And they've got a must-win game, as some are describing it, this weekend against Louisville. So we're all very excited for that.
Yeah, I'll stop short of must-win, but it's a big one.
I saw your column.
Yeah, I was looking at ESPN SP Plus because I was talking to you earlier in the week, and I was like, look, I don't think the Sun Belt non-conference results are that big a deal. Like, it's going to be a good league. It's always a good league. And then I see Georgia Southern loses by 28 to Fresno State.
They were up 14-13 at one point, too.
Yeah, at half. And then I was looking and saw that Louisiana lost at home to Rice, and Walker Howard got dinged up. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I saw Washington State beat Idaho 13-10. I think they both had 220 total yards of offense. A little bit concerned about the strength of schedule and how that might look in a college football playoff comparison with an American champ. But there's so much football left.
Well, they also do get the two best teams out of the Sun Belt West, which is pretty massive. But
is Louisiana good after the Rice loss?
Okay, that's a good point, but it's week one. I'm gonna say for the time being, I say two of the best West teams because you got Texas State and then whoever's in the Sun Belt West. So you get two quality wins.
I know. I'm scared of the American, and I'll bring this up really quick and then get away from it. But USF blows out Boise State. That was not on my bingo card. Like, I thought maybe they could win, but a blowout was impressive. Tulane beat Northwestern by 20. Now, Northwestern sucks. Like, Northwestern's, I think they're 107th in SP+, but on paper it looks like a Big Ten team, which I feel like gives them a little bit of love. I mean, it is a Big Ten team on paper, to be clear. It doesn't just look like it. It is. But Northwestern sucks. But it's still going to look nice for Tulane. Tulane also plays Duke at home, and then they play Ole Miss. So the losses could pile up. USF has Miami and Florida coming up. So a lot of things can happen. Navy's kind of scary. Memphis is kind of scary and gets Arkansas at home. I'm just a little bit worried that the AAC, or the American now, is going to look a little more powerful, and maybe the American champ's going to have a good leg. If JMU doesn't get sort of a signature win here. But look, there's a lot of football left. Washington State can play better. I'm actually kind of encouraged by App and ODU. And then Texas State looks like they could be a wagon too. So there's some games. There's a lot of football left, but early week one, I'm moderately concerned.
Yes, okay, that's fair. But I still, as long as JMU is 12-1 and a Sun Belt champion, they should very much be in the spot. Just because I don't think they'll. You don't think so? Okay.
It depends what happens in the American.
Yeah, I just do not think we all focus on the top end of the American. The bottom part of the American is booty.
I just don't think that matters because I feel like they're only really gonna care about top end wins and like
P4 and I think
wins.
JMU has a couple top end wins that they can pull out.
Maybe, but I guess the issue is if they don't beat Louisville, what's your best win? Nobody else is in the top 7. The only other team in the top 70 of SP Plus is Liberty.
You know SP Plus, that thing can just flip on a dime.
It can change. There can be some. I'm just a little concerned. I'm worried about the American, man. Like, they look like they have like 5 playoff contenders.
It's not a great week one for the Sun Belt, but at the end of the day, not to sound all coach speaky, but like control what you can control.
You're right.
Win the dang games on the schedule. Like, if you win this Louisville game and you go undefeated, you're the dang college football playoff rep of the group of 5. Like, I just hate, like, at this point in the season,
you're right.
And I know you're a nerd.
Right.
I'm a nerd too. But like, I hate policing the schedule already and being fair. Well, Georgia Southern lost this game and we needed that win. Like,
I agree with that. I am concerned though, because like you look at some of the wins that were supposed to be like major, like Georgia Southern's not going to be able to make up anything in terms of like their non-conference. That's tough. Like, you can't lose to Fresno by 28. But I agree. Like, if JMU takes care of business, they're going to be in the mix. But I guess my overall point is there is some pressure on this game that maybe I didn't anticipate it being this high.
Win.
It's not a must-win. But if Tulane goes 12-1 and you don't beat Louisville, you're not getting in.
But here's the other thing. Tulane won't probably go 12-1. Like, Tulane will probably drop 2 or 3 games. Like,
they might. It's a lot of hypotheticals, but this is huge. If you get this one, the difference between getting this one and not getting this one It's a big one if you get it. It's a
It's a
big
huge
one
one
if you get it. That's all I'm saying.
Also, I'll put my pessimist hat on. I'll be Debbie Downer over here. JMU finished the Sun Belt last season 4-4.
Sure.
So, like, as much as we're talking about college football playoff, and those are the expectations and the hopes, all I give a damn about is winning a Sun Belt championship and not being 500 in the Sun Belt. Like, college football playoff would be a lot of fun. So would a fun bowl game, and so would winning the Sun Belt championship. Like, not to rain on your parade.
We're in agreement there. That should be the focus.
That's the thing. I like at this now. If JMU wins the Sun Belt championship this year, then it's all college football playoff is what I care about moving forward. But like right now, this is a JMU team that was 500 in the Sun Belt last year, looked good against Weber State, but I still have some serious questions which we'll dive into. But before we dive into that, we got a couple of messages from not even our sponsors. These are just plugs from us that we've re-recorded to sound more official. Oh, here at the top, though, I do want to bring up our new podcast schedule.
Yes.
Bennett and I have decided that around Tuesdays or Wednesdays of the middle of every week, we'll do our recap pod. We'll break down the game that was. We'll do listener voicemails, which is a big new thing that we've got. Feel free to give us a call at any point, but if you want to do it after games, 540-227-0881. That's 540-227-0881. Give us a call. That'll go right to our voicemail, and you leave us a voicemail. Your overreactions from the game, your general musings on what JMU football means to you, massive takes, little takes, whatever you want, leave a voicemail. So this early podcast in the week will be recapping of the game, news or snooze, listener voicemail, Sunbelt Weekly Pick'em once conference play gets going, and then we'll do quick fall sports whip around updates there as well. And then later on in the week, we'll try to get guests to preview the upcoming matchup, and we'll do a preview pod later on in the week. So a little bit of a change. But for now, we're going to throw it a break. Be right back with more JMU Sports News Podcast. Love what we do here at JMU Sports News? Help fuel the show. For the price of a coffee, you can support us directly at buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. Every quote-unquote cup helps us bring you more Dukes coverage, interviews, and insight. So if you enjoy the show, consider buying us a coffee today. Thank you so much. buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. We appreciate each and every one of them and all of your support. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Are you looking for deeper insight into JMU football? Check out To the House, part of the JMU Sports News Network. Brand new look, brand new sound this season. Hosted by former JMU quarterback Vad Lee and JMU Hall of Famer Delvin Joyce. They'll take you inside the huddle every week with game recaps, previews, and player perspective you won't find anywhere else. Subscribe today to the JMU Sports News Podcast Network and stay game day ready with To the House. Want to rep the Dukes in the best vintage gear out there? Home Field Apparel has you covered with premium JMU designs you won't find in the bookstore. Whether it's tailgates, watch parties, or just everyday flexing your purple and gold pride, Home Field is the way to go. Use the link in our episode description to grab your JMU swag today. Our link down in the episode description. Get your JMU swag today.
We got to talk about the Weber game. We're talking about college football playoff, the hypotheticals, the journey, what could be. But they did open the season. They won a game.
Yeah, a dominating way of doing the game, too, of winning the game.
45-10, jumped out to a big lead early. They were cruising offensively. They had a middle eight that was ugly, unspeakable even. But overall, I think pretty good.
Unspeakable.
Overall, I think it was pretty good. Some people on the internet, I love to say this. This always happens on podcasts where it's like some people are saying. There's some people who are getting a little like, oh man, I can't believe JMU fans are complaining after a 35-point win. I don't think too many fans were actually complaining. They were just kind of looking ahead to like, can this team beat Louisville? But I think most fans, us included, I was very appreciative of like the journey of JMU football, man. I'm feeling excited about where they come. Weber State used to be a playoff battle or like a non-conference battle. They
Yeah,
just
Weaver
whooped
now
them.
sucks though.
Yeah,
Weaver's
but
like
that's
bad
that's
now.
yeah, but that's like the thing, right? Like Weber went complete the other way. JMU's on this upward trajectory. I don't know. I was feeling pretty good. It's an FCS game. They routed them. They didn't route Gardner Webb last year. That's JMU has a good football team. Like regardless of whether they go
Yeah,
to the playoff or not, like it's a good team, and it was nice to see him kind of click a bit.
I agree. They are a good team. They really click those first four drives, right? Like first four drives, Alonzo Barnett comes
He's
out as a
back.
starting quarterback. No brace. We'll get into that in a little bit. But they score on their first four drives. Things are cooking with gas. And then the middle eight part of the game, so the final 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, got a little wonky, got a little weird there. There was a Mikey Scott fumble,
Yeah.
which we'll also talk about Mikey Scott being a focal point of this offense. Mikey Scott fumble, OPI that's called on who is it? Logan
It was.
Kyle.
I think the pass was a Kyle Wislowski. There were a lot of flags coming in, so I think he set a pretty clear pick.
So there was an OPI called. Then there was also a DPI that wasn't called at one point in the corner of an end zone that maybe would have resulted. So there was a lot of weird things happening kind of in that middle eight part of the game. Kind of took JMU out of its rhythm and they refound it late. JC comes in. They had three quarterbacks rush for a touchdown, which was
Yeah.
interesting. Barnett, Sluka, and JC Evans,
Louisville's got
but
a
then
game plan
found it, put
for
up a couple of
everybody now.
points for everybody. Blake Kendall even. But there was a point in the game where it felt a little weird because I think it was what JMU was getting outscored 3-10 at one point, like in the middle eight,
Yeah.
technically, and it was just weird plays here and there that resulted in that. But overall, a very good performance that did leave me a little worried,
Okay.
just with
Yep.
the fact that
Now it's a
just for the
JMU
fact that
Sports News pod.
last year, their biggest issue was being great to start games,
Yeah.
like fantastic to start games, and then seemingly running out of plays. Like all the good plays are called. And I know that's not actually how it works. Like there's so much more to it, but it always felt like, oh, Jamie's going to get out to like a 21-0 lead or a 28-7 lead or something. And then you hold on for dear life as everything that did work no longer works because the defense made an adjustment and there is no adjustment to the adjustment. And you just pray to whatever God you believe in that they're going to be able to hold on to win. It didn't happen against Marshall, didn't happen in App State. The ULM game, it didn't happen. Georgia Southern game was just a blowout from start to finish. But like, it, it's tough. Like there was that in the back of my head. Like this is like last year. This is like last year. So that was my one concern where I'm like, against Louisville, this won't get it done.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do think that I really liked Wayne Knight, like when it was 31-10, 3rd and 2. I think it was after Barnett was checking into a play. Chesney called a timeout, and Barnett kind of lost his mind. I think they then ran the touchdown play after, so maybe it was the same play that he was checking to. I'm not entirely sure.
That's what Delvin and Vad talked about onto the house.
It was the same one, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's what
he
Vad thinks that like he got mad, and you can
because he
listen
thought it
to
was
the
a
house
touchdown.
now
Yeah.
on because he had just checked into that play that they then called timeout to then check into, and
Okay.
Alonzo's like, I had it. Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so Wayne Knight breaks it right. They're sort of in a lull, and then he breaks off a 59-yard touchdown run. And we'll talk about personnel a little bit, but like Wayne Knight just starts the game at running back. I thought he was RB5, so I was surprised by that. But he's apparently hit 22 miles per hour on the catapult, which you got to take some of this with a grain of salt when the coaches talk about catapult numbers. I feel like they inflated a little bit, or it's like one time when the wind at his back and like somebody pushed him, he hit 22 miles an
He hit
hour.
21.6, but we're just gonna round up.
Right. So he's fast. He has more breakaway speed, honestly, probably than Petaway, which I didn't have on my
Well,
bingo card.
Petaway has never really broken anything, so we
Right.
don't fully know if he has breakaway speed. I mean, he
I don't
ran out of
know.
gas on like the 5.
And admitted that he ran out of gas. It was like two consecutive carries. He was like, yeah, I was just out of it. It was like, all right. So, but Petaway is phenomenal too. 10 carries, 99 yards. He's really, really good, even though he hasn't had like a home run yet.
He needs who's the stat guy? Give him the yard.
Yeah, get him to 100 there. Give him a little bonus. But like Wayne Knight sort of broke him out of their funk. Then they had an interception, I think, from Kai Holmes that set him up where he probably should have scored a touchdown. He just tripped over himself at like a three, and then J.C. Evans took it in from there on like a easy design keeper. Because if you note from watching the film closely, Joby Mallory in those heavy packages when they run like quarterback power and he goes and sets the edge, pretty great blocker. Joby might be probably he's an NFL player. We know that. We know that.
I
And
mean, arguably a Hall of Famer.
it
Like
was
you could just
proven
give him the
again,
gold
like
jacket
between
now.
the blocking, between the 5 carries for 31 yards.
He I know he didn't get a lot of run, but like literally
He's
like a
really
lot of
good,
hands
dude,
off. But he always was the back with QB power. So
which is
he
good for
he
us.
very good, which means eventually those will start turning into handoffs, I would think. But
They'll mix in handoffs, I assume, right, with the
I
power.
hope so. Can I just say something really quick? We were talking about
Yes.
middle eight.
Yeah.
JMU sucked in the middle eight. Like
Yeah, like horrendous.
advanced stats, nerd number season, everyone rejoice. We're back to EPA per play. We're back to expected points added. Hold your applause. Hold your
Oh, okay,
applause.
sorry.
Middle eight, JMU had a negative zero point 0.8 EPA per play. They ran
Garbage.
10 plays in the middle eight, and essentially they took off 8 points off of the board. They ran 7 passes, 3 rushes. One of those passes were successful. One of those rushes were successful. So 2 successful plays in 10, not very good. And the middle eight just ate them alive. And that is what gave us kind of that sour taste in our mouth. But yeah.
There's a pretty obvious path to a shutout.
Yes. And the defense was exceptional. Like we'll get here. Let's go through the rundown now. Let's
Okay.
start with QB and then work our way through the rundown. Because Alonzo Barnett starts.
Yeah, which is, a surprise given the ACL tear 9 months ago. So that's for him getting out there is super impressive. He looked the same. Like he ran the ball really well. He throws a nice ball. Like
Yes.
he
When he's on.
spins it.
When he's on.
Like it comes out nice. Like it might not be going exactly where you need it to sometimes, but it comes out nice. The man spins it. So it was fun to see him back out there. He did some good things. There's also some misses there. He had Collins on a deep ball that he missed. He had Sanchez for a fourth down conversion. He threw it over his head. He threw a decent ball to DeGenero on kind of a deep one. That Nick, it's not didn't go down as a drop. I guess maybe a defensive back got their hand in there. Potentially some decent coverage. Little surprise for best player in the team, no catches, one target. Well,
He did lead all wide receivers though in snaps. He had 44 snaps, which
yeah,
was the most out of everyone.
I think it might be an Eric O'Neal situation where start slow, like O'Neal did against Charlotte, and then you start to cruise. So that's what I'm holding out hope for. But yeah, like Barnett, I thought was solid, looked the part. They didn't try much, like they didn't go downfield much at all. Really, the Collins deep ball was like pretty much the only thing they tried really down the field. So it was a lot of short, intermediate stuff, and he was fine. He was like, I don't know, it wasn't like overly impressive, but coming back from injury, he looks the same, and he had some pretty
He
great highs
ran it
last
a
year.
couple of times.
Yeah.
Ran it a couple of times and looked pretty nimble with the running. I mean, I was shocked that he even like we were on record. We understand it. Like we got it wrong for the third straight year on Alonzo Barnett. Like the dude just continues to defy the JMU Sports News guesses. Like it is insane that he started, and the fact that he had literally torn his ACL 9 months ago, was playing without a brace, and still had a solid rushing attack. Like he was running for touchdowns. He had a running grade of the team best 72.8 on PFF. So he was finding some good holes. I mean, he looked not great, but better than I would have expected coming off of an ACL 9 months to the day.
Yeah, Chesney afterward really praised his ability to get them into the correct play, which I think maybe you look at with the Wayne Knight touchdown. That's an important thing. It seems like he just understands the offense very well and puts him in a good position to have success. Not that Sluka doesn't do that, and it may be a little surprising that Barnett is better at that than Sluka, given the fact that Sluka has been in the Dean Kennedy offense for longer than Alonzo has.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like Alonso, they like his ability to just like lead the offense. He has a better arm than Sluka, but they're going to use Sluka.
Do you think that that's going the old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none? Do you think this is going to negatively impact the team?
Probably
Because
depends on
like,
like results.
because listen back to AB3's post game presser. being a body language guy, like it seemed he may
Yes.
have been a little upset that maybe Sluka took a couple of touchdowns from him, a rushing one and a passing one. Like, not actively upset, but it's really going to test like how they like each other because quarterback position, like you want some stats, especially for Alonzo, who may want to make that jump up to the next level,
Sure.
and he's missing out on touchdowns now. From all accounts, his high school coach, when we talked to him last season, what Chesney says, everything. He's the ultimate competitor. All he wants to do is win. He's a great teammate, all of that. But it is interesting. Plus, on the other side of it, it takes you out of rhythm. Like you start to find a rhythm. Alonzo's two missed passes came after he had kind of gotten pushed out of a rhythm.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they're gonna have to find a way to manage it. And he said all the right things post game, but yeah, you could kind of tell with like his look and the smile when it's like, "What's it like coming out?" And he's like, "It's different." Like he obviously doesn't want to come out. Like he's a competitor who'd like to play the entire game and be the guy. I thought Sluka did some nice stuff though. Had a rushing touchdown, almost broke a run or two. Had a passing touchdown and a pick. So he had 12 snaps. Two of them were touchdowns. It was just kind of an electric time when he was out there. He's
And a
good,
pick.
man. He's good. They're probably going to keep trying to roll with two. I do think it could be a weird dynamic if one of them starts to falter a little bit of sort of like how their teammates view it, how they view it, how the coaches view it, how the fans view it, the media views it. It could definitely get a little bit clunky and weird because they want to play Sluka, and I think they think that Alonso's the better quarterback, but it's you really can't keep Sluka on the bench all the time, I don't think, given how good he is as a runner.
The very interesting part of it to me too is that it's not like a wildcat or anything. Like Alonzo comes out of the game.
Yeah, it's a like he's the quarterback when Sluka comes in. Like they threw it 4 out of the 12 snaps.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just interesting. Like it is going to be fascinating to keep an eye on. Like
Especially in
that
like a real game when it's tight. Like you going like are you down 7 at Louisville in the
and what if
fourth
Sluka throws an
quarter?
interception? Like
Yeah, and then it's
Sluka
like, what are
throws
you
an
doing?
and then it's like Barnett's like, I wouldn't have thrown that freaking interception. What huh? Why'd you bet? It's gonna be fascinating to see how it plays out. I'm also interested in the offensive line rotations as well,
Hmm.
because again, I'm coming back to it, and it's the same for quarterbacks. Feels like you got to have some sort of continuity at those positions,
Sure.
and the constant kind of revolving door trying to keep guys fresh is going to have inverse effects because they're going to lack the continuity, they're going to lack the cohesion, they're going to lack the rhythm. Like so much of a game from a defensive lineman standard. Maybe it throws a defensive lineman off, but it even goes for an offensive lineman. Like you're having a one-on-one game with the guy across from you.
Yeah.
Like a defensive lineman might go bull rush to set you up for a speed rush on the outside edge and tries to beat you there after going all game right into your chest. For an offensive lineman, you may be lulling a defensive lineman to sleep by doing certain moves. And when you get taken out of a game, that throws off kind of how you're pacing out the game yourself. So that is something I was hoping they were going to get away from this offseason, but based off that first game, they were making some pretty big changes at times. So that is going to be fascinating to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know, like I think there may be a better pass blocking group than run blocking, but I think their team is like better designed to run the ball. So it's going to be interesting. They're not bad at run blocking. I just think they're better at pass blocking. They got some guys who are really, really good at that. Simmons had like an 88 pass blocking grade. He was impressive. Sweezy was really, really good. Robel came in after not starting. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to keep Riley Robel off the field. like,
Like,
I,
but then like Deacon Rawls got 18 pass blocking snaps. It looks like the grouping of Simmons, Greenberg, McMurtry, Sweezy are the four constants, and then Robel, Toner, Trent Wilson all rotate a little bit, and Deacon Rawls came in at left tackle and right tackle a little bit. So
yeah, Cam McNair didn't play, which was kind of surprising. Holy Cross transfer, first team All Patriot League. Don't know his status. Of course, nobody asked in any of the Chesney availabilities. So we have no idea. There are a number of players like that who didn't play. Jordan Fuller, running back. Our guy, JT Kwame Yao, linebacker, did not play, which was surprising. Elijah Culp, who's apparently injured but may be healthy based on Instagram stories. Excited for those availability reports come conference play. But there's a bunch of guys who didn't play that I thought would have played. Josh Pfeiffer at tight end. Surprising. There's some surprising stuff out there.
They didn't want to put anything on film.
I think
I
they're
will say,
banged up or something.
I agree. I will say I think a portion of why the first half and the second half had such a stark difference. I think there was a little bit of vanilla-ness that was added in as the game went
Oh
on.
yeah,
Like they weren't as aggressive on fourth down. They kind of
right.
resulted in just like running between the tackles a good amount, which was a little worrisome though that Weber State like got some pretty good push and got like a good handful of TFLs on run plays. Like Louisville's better. Like Louisville's defensive line is better than Weber State. So worries me a little bit. Offensive line is going to be something I hold my breath on for a large part of the season probably.
Just some weird stuff in the middle eight, and then like like a fake punt that definitely wasn't called, that didn't work for, and also like
It
you don't need
definitely
to
he
run
just
a
has the
fake punt, yeah, but running like you don't need the
you've now
green
put it
light
on
when you're up
film.
30 on, yeah,
You've
that was
put it on
dumb.
film.
That was dumb and a mistake. Like there's some stuff in special teams that still has me kind of concerned. The stupid
Blocked
fake
field
punt,
goal.
the blocked field goal, but like a kickoff return for a touchdown that's called back for holding. There is some stuff. Now the unit had a blocked punt because Chase Regan is a god on
Yes.
special teams.
He's so good.
They're really good on kickoff coverage again because Chase Regan is a god. So it's like I'm a little concerned about some of the schematic stuff, but not concerned about Chase Regan.
Or Wayne Knight.
Yeah, like those two seem like they're good, but I'm a little concerned after the block kicks were a problem last year. You get a blocked field goal and then like just an unnecessary fake punt. You can't have like net negatives. And then after the game, at least initially, Chesney was like, "I love the special teams," and I was like, "I love parts of the special teams."
Special teams, EPA for the entire game, negative 2.75.
Yeah, so like the block field was not good. The holding was tough. Like there was some plays they would like to get back, but overall decent. They did what they needed to do against Weaver State.
Um, so should we be worried about lack of sacks? The defensive line didn't get a ton of pressure on their
Sure.
quarterback. Now, they ran a lot of quick passes, a lot of quick hitters, things to get the ball out of their hands. But Amar Thomas, didn't hear his name a lot. Aiden Gobira, I think he had one good play. Xavier Holmes really didn't play much until the second half. Um, Emmanuel Bush whiffed on a sack, but he was kind of an anchor in the middle of the defensive line. Uh, are you worried at all about the lack of sack production and lack of TFLs?
I thought they did really well against the run. I thought they were okay against the pass. I think watching it back, I was more impressed with the defensive line. The thing that I did not piece together the way that maybe I should have was that like Eric O'Neill came to JMU as like one of the best defensive ends like in college football. And he just was almost immediately. It took him maybe a game or two, and then he was just an absolute stud who now plays at Rutgers. Xavier Holmes had a much different story. Like Eric O'Neill was putting up crazy stats at Long Island. He was NEC Defensive Player of the Year. Like early in Holmes's career at Maine, he didn't play. He was like a red shirt, and he developed into a really nice second team CAA player. But if you go back and look at like his grades, he's really good because he's durable. He can play a lot of snaps. He has a super high motor. He's not like a, oh, I think that guy's a top 100 NFL draft pick player. So he's really good, but he's different. He has different strengths than O'Neal. Then you have Aiden Gobira, who like had played one snap of college football coming into this year, flashed a little. Amar Thomas had never been like a full-time starter for JMU. Sahir West played 7 snaps last year as a true freshman. Those are your four edges. I think it might take him a little bit of time, which is not great news when you have Louisville, but I think they're going to be fine. I think the difference is they don't necessarily have one guy who's like, oh, that guy's going to absolutely kill people. They don't have that quite yet.
Sahir West is also a pass rush specialist, right? Like he had
I think he could be a dog. I don't
I,
like all
I, I'm
downs.
just I'm just saying what he did in that first game. Lack of experience as a freshman last year, played 7 snaps. This game, he was on the field for 16 passes. He
Yep.
pass rushed on all 16 of them. So he is going to be like the boundary edge where they're not
Sure.
going to
Yeah.
ask him to drop into cover. That's what I mean by that. Like, yeah, he can be
Yes.
on the field and run block or run
Yes.
defend. But when he is on a pass down, they right now don't trust him to drop in coverage like a
Well,
Kyrie
I hope
Mans
they
did
don't.
last year. Well, yeah, but Kyrie Mans did that last year.
I feel like
You know
Thomas
what I
can do
mean?
that. Thomas, I think, is going to have to
Yes.
fill that role.
Yes. But like Amar dropped back in coverage 3 times. Xavier Holmes dropped back in coverage twice.
Okay.
So that's what I am saying. That is what I am saying.
Yeah,
So
no,
like he
they're
is a pass
differently
rusher.
built. Yeah, Sahir Rest is like 270, so he's a different body.
Yes.
You're going to need him to get after it. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I was honestly more concerned about the passing game, which has been really inconsistent. But I think the defensive line will be okay. But again, Louisville's a different test. But it's also like you don't need to dominate Louisville up front. That seems unrealistic. But do I think they can like beat up Liberty or Georgia Southern or what appears to be like a weak Louisiana offense? Yeah. Yeah, I think they can do those things, which is more important, honestly, than what they do in week 2 against Louisville.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, where was I gonna go with that? There was a point I was gonna make here. I forget what it was.
The defensive interior, I'll say Michael McMullen, I think has some pass rushing
Yeah.
upside too. So like maybe they have better pass rushing from the interior compared to last season. Bush has
Yeah.
gotten in a decent amount. He just needs
Bush.
to stop away
Terry
from some of
Lockett
those.
was part of the starting lineup.
Lockett looks good. I was impressed by
Tadeo.
Lockett.
Tadeo looked good at times. Tadeo had the
Yeah.
second best pass rushing grade according to PFF. So
There's
that's
some
positives.
the
Zahir West
D
had the worst pass rushing grade.
which I think he's
But
gonna improve on that, and he's pretty good. I like Sahir West, man. He looks the
I, I
part.
he I'm just being the foil to you.
No, that's fair.
Um, do you want to talk running back and wide receivers here? Because running backs, you got Wayne Knight. Was shocking that he was the starting running back, but
Fucking
according
insane.
to Chesney in Chesney's post game presser, where he was a little snippy at times, Katie Harper from the DNR asked about Wayne Knight starting, and he said, "Wasn't a shock to me. If you had listened to me, you would have known he was good." And it's like, yes, Bob. You also say that everyone's good. You probably said
He
Jackson
didn't talk
McCarter
about
was
him as
good.
much as he's saying. Like
No,
he did.
he did not.
That was crazy. Yeah, like to be like you should have known is so stupid.
Also,
And
him
just
getting mad at the very first question, which I think was from a Breeze reporter, being like, "So Alonzo's the starter, huh?" And he's like, "That's all you guys want to talk about." Like, yeah, we college football playoff hopeful. QB1 is a pretty big position, especially considering it was a huge question mark all offseason. You're damn right. It's going to be the first question I ask in a post game
if you
presser.
listen to his press conference this week, like the preview one,
No, not yet.
Dave Riggert was like, you know, you guys are playing like Louisville's fight song and all these different songs to get prepped. Like, you know, how does that kind of help you guys really get prepped for the real thing? He's like, we want to give away all our secrets. Playing Louisville's fight song is not a secret or an advantage. The man is neurotic. I love him. He's a great coach, but like he's a lunatic when it
E-
comes to revealing any sort of information. You can be like, "Oh, you guys are having Gatorade at practice." He's like, what do you want to know our game plan?"
Every every press conference, it becomes more clear that Bob Chesney is the head coach of our all psycho team.
Yeah, he is a little bit of a nut, but he's a good coach, doing well. I think he's gonna have him competitive against Louisville. I just found that really
Undefeated
funny.
in non-conference games as a coach of
That's
JMU.
true. I just love that where he's like, "You want to give away everything?" It's like that gave away absolutely nothing. Like Louisville's gonna still play their fight song. They're not gonna like change it like for a competitive edge. Like it's
It's
Friday.
going to throw JMU
They're
players off.
still
They're going to
rolling
they're going
that
to play
out,
an
man.
A flat instead of a B sharp, and
Yeah.
it's going to I think that's actually the same exact note.
Who could say?
Uh,
You
music
could. You
people who are
could, yeah.
listening. um so running backs, it was just weird. Joby gets some run. Io now seems to be like RB5.
I thought Iowa was actually better than his stat line. 8 carries, 21 yards, I think it was. He had like a
I mean,
first
he
down
wasn't as
run that
good as
was nice.
Joby.
No, but he played what some of it's blocking too when your sample size is so small where it's like they didn't have a hole and he got eaten up and everyone's like, Io stinks. What's his deal? It's like, well, they didn't give him any room to run. Like it depends how it's blocked and how things work and what the defensive call is. There's a lot of stuff when the sample size is that small. But they're pretty good at
Um
running back. Surprised Jordan
he
Fuller didn't play though.
Iowa Day did have the worst running grade out of all JMU players. Worse than Patrick Rea, the
Rhea
punter.
had a free. You give Io that fake punt, he's making a guy miss, and that's a first down.
um
But his grade
Yikes.
wasn't even that bad, was it? It was like high 50s.
57.5.
That's not
That's
that
not
bad.
good.
No, that's fine.
Joby had the best running back grade out of everyone. Give our
Okay.
man more. Give our man more
Joby's really
touches.
good. I just don't think I like people are overreacting about the IO stuff, in my
Okay.
opinion. Like also
I
he
think
can if
he's
he's running back three or
yeah.
four or five, like that's a high end,
Yes.
like deep running back. I think he's a good player. Give him some time.
Um, linebacker. You in the rundown, you put digging the linebacker room.
Yeah, yeah, I am. I
Did
mean,
you?
like our guy didn't play, but
JT Kwame did not play. However, we saw Trent Hendrick was flying around the
I
field.
would consider myself like a top tier secret Trent Hendrick hater. And I guess I'm becoming public now. He was phenomenal. But people have hyped him up for years where they're like, this guy is the leader of the defense. This guy is the best linebacker we've ever had. Next great. He had not really been that. Like he had been above average, very solid, but his you look at the PFF grades, he'd never been above 70 over a season. Like he was very solid like throughout his
His
JMU
career, he was
time, but he
always
was
a
not like an elite linebacker at any point.
he was in that game.
That's what I'm saying. 83.2, the way he was hitting and finishing plays, like he's taken a leap, in my opinion, based on the based on one game against a bad FCS team. He's taken a leap and he is ready to shine. But I thought he was really impressive in this one.
He was really, really impressive. Gannon Weathersby was really solid as well. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw who else did we see play some linebacker snaps? Spinagati took some snaps at linebacker. He was
He
good.
was a dog.
Um,
He was a little confusing on the replay. Sorry to interrupt the Spinagati thing. Has a tackle for loss where he like really stretches out his oblique on the tackle, and then he does this big like chopping celebration, and then he grabbed his side and ran out. He ended up coming back in, but it was like I don't know. I don't know if it was the chopping motion that he like ooh tweaked it or something, but he was aggressive
um,
in run support. I like him as like a blitzing option.
he's fun. I mean, he also graded out really well. I was very intrigued to see redshirt freshman Emmanuel Izagwu.
Dude. Dog. He might be what I thought Trayshawn Dye was. He was.
The
Sorry,
way you said that.
it's the NIL era. I feel more free to comment, but I like Trayshawn Dye is a beast too, and he didn't. I don't think he played in this game, but I'm excited about his
No,
potential. But yeah, all the linebackers, the backup linebackers that were flying around, played aggressively. So maybe you bring some of them in and blitz a bit. Um, Tyler Brown started at safety was phenomenal, and Curtis Harris Lopez came in and I thought looked really good too. Harris Lopez wouldn't mind him coming in as sort of like a hybridy linebacker. I feel like he's best against the run. He can hit a bit, maybe
that's
find
what
a way to.
DJ's for. DJ Barksdale's dropped a wide open interception. I think that
Yeah,
was his issue last year too. He dropped a
yeah.
couple wide open interceptions, but he's a dog.
He's a tackling dog. Nobody blows up a screen. I was talking to you
Oh
during the game
yes,
about this. Like Barksdale blows up so many screens.
he plays so much Madden. Like he can
Yes.
sniff out a screen, and he just is like, "See ball, get ball," puts head down and goes.
Yeah, it's like a shark with blood when they can smell it from like a mile away. Like he could be outside the stadium and I feel like he would still be like, yo.
Yeah. Um. Whew. All right. Anything else from this game?
Not a lot. I was impressed by how they played. I thought it was pretty
I
good. I'm excited for what they can do against Louisville.
I'm keeping an eye on second half slash middle
Yes,
eight.
middle eight.
There were some extenuating circumstances, so I will give them a free pass on this one. But if JMU gets out to a 21-0 lead or a 21-7 lead or something, and they can't hold on against Louisville, I got some real questions coming up next week. But for right now, it was a solid performance. And scoring on your first four drives of a season is nothing to sneeze at. Really, really good stuff. We didn't even talk about this, though, real quick. Mikey Scott,
Mikey
the
Scott.
freshman, just
Oh,
starting in the slot.
ooh.
He is so good. And I know he has that fumble, kind of throws off his rhythm there a little bit.
Gotta
Didn't
hit the
play
weight
much
room.
after that. I think he had one more touch. But that's I've heard a lot of people say it, kind of your welcome to college moment where this
Yeah.
true freshman who's 18 gets rocked,
Well,
loses the ball. You learn from that. We're gonna
yeah.
move on. We're gonna learn from that. But man, is he good. He's fast, he's
Oh.
shifty, he's fun, and he beat out Jalen Sanchez and Wazlowski to be the starting slot.
They gave him a reverse for no reason. It got like kind of blown up. It was like the most exciting 0 yard gain you'll ever see. Like makes
He's
a guy miss in the backfield, weaves around a defensive lineman, and makes another guy miss to get back to the line of scrimmage. Shifty. He had one crossing pattern where Barnett threw it like at his knees when he's running full speed, bends down perfectly, catches it like while still running. He's got some special talents. They have too many
The
receivers though. I want to put
the
that out there.
young receivers Landon Ellis made that one beautiful catch right along the
Yeah.
sideline from Sluka. He dropped it in the
Yeah, it's
bucket. That
just
was really good.
it's too
But
many
there's a lot
guys.
of them.
It's too many
It's a
guys.
lot of like
Figure out
I
who you want to play. And I
well,
know it was like
it's
an
also
audition
just
game, but like, come on, man.
but it
We
was
can't
still
rotate that many
weird.
receivers.
It was kind of weird. Like
You don't need to play three slots.
De Janeiro gets 44 snaps, one target. Like what but then Alston gets a good amount of doesn't get a ton of snaps, but then he gets like what, like 3 or 4 targets, it felt like.
Right.
Then you had Landon, I think, only have one target, and it
Two
happened to be the
catches.
touchdown. Why is Logan Kyle leading the team with 4 targets? No offense to Logan Kyle. Seems like a great guy. You
He
got
was okay
you
though.
got Landon had 3, yeah, you're right. But like 7 targets went to Logan Kyle and Wayne Knight.
Okay, yes, I do have questions about why they're not going to De Janeiro. The other question I
The
have, and I
what?
hate to do it, I hate to do it. They talked all year about how the receivers last year, this 2024, they're like the receivers can't win one-on-ones. And that's why we lost because those stupid receivers can't win one-on-ones. Was essentially what they
Cam
said.
Ross.
They said it
Look
in
at
like
Cam Ross.
multiple press conferences. Cam Ross goes for 123 and a touchdown against Coastal in his UVA debut. Also
And
returns a kick for a score. He looked incredible. Ymir Knight is on SMU. He had a kind of a slow debut, but he's on SMU. So you had two power forward receivers and Taylor Thompson and Amarian Dollison. You're telling me none of them could win on one-on-ones. None of them could ever get open. Dean Kennedy needs to show me something against Louisville because like now you have 8 guys and you say you love them all. Scheme them open, get them open. Because you're talking about like, oh, Cam Ross, we love these guys, they just can't get open.
it,
Are you
it
sure?
it's so weird to me that 7 targets went to Logan Kyle plus Wayne Knight, and 1 target went to De Janeiro. Zeron had one. That's like I would love to see Isaiah Alston, Landon Ellis getting 3 targets. I'd love to see that hovering around 5. I'd love to see De Janeiro around 5 to 7 targets. Logan Kyle maybe 2 targets. I don't know. It was just a very interesting target breakdown. And like one of the questions in the press conference was, you know, you guys had 6 receivers make a catch in the first quarter. What does that say about the room? I get the question. I understand why a coach is going to paint that as a positive. I don't love that. I would rather 3 guys make a catch for 200. I'd love to break over 200 yards passing. Like, cool that 6 caught it, but 6 caught it for 70
Yeah.
yards. I would, if it's 6 people are catching it, I want you to have 300 yards of total passing. Like, 7 of the last 9 games, you haven't gone over 200 passing yards.
Yeah, they weren't that efficient either. 5.4 yards per attempt is a little bit disgusting. They were throwing a lot of short stuff, but like that's kind of ugly. Some people were like, "Hey, they completed 63% of their passes." I don't fucking care. Like that, I don't know, that doesn't matter. Like, can you go down the field? The other two teams that averaged 5.4 passing yards, it was like Ball State and Buffalo. They combined to score 10 points in week one, losing to Big Ten teams. You don't want to be talking about your passing attack in the same breath as Ball State and Buffalo.
J-
It's one game. I think it'll get
y-
better. I know it was
yes,
vanilla, but
you got to
it
get
was
better though
also not just
passing.
one game, right?
This is what I've been saying, man. Outside of the Boca Bowl, they finished the season subpar in passing. So my antennas are up. My
Should Billy
antennas are up.
Atkins come back? That's what you're
Stop
saying.
it right now. Stop it right now. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. We're going to take a quick ad break. On the other side, bring it back some news or snooze, some listener voicemails, and so much more. Stay with us.
Let's jump into news or snooze. It's been a
Okay.
while, folks.
Yeah. Forgot about it, actually.
Okay, number one. This is not more so a quote. It's more just like a news or snooze on Chesney's vibe. We talk about where he's joking. He was kind of like smiling and friendly when he said them, but like the thing where he says like it's your fault for not knowing about Wayne Knight. You only want to ask about quarterbacks, and then also him being like you're giving away all my secrets when we played the fight song. What is your reaction to some of? He's a press conference fiend.
Um, I'll say it's snoozeworthy, but like I'm actively monitoring the situation type of thing. Like I don't love it, you know? I going all the way back to last season when he's like, I can't wait to judge you on how the NIL works out. It's like, don't say that. Don't say that. You just lost. You just blew your second double-digit lead in 2 weeks, man. Don't say that. So it's a situation I'm actively monitoring, but for right now, it's newsworthy.
Okay. Newsworthy or snoozeworthy? Jordan Fuller, Cam McNair, JT
Newsworthy.
Kwame Elijah Culp, Josh Pfeiffer. I'm missing somebody who didn't play that I thought was going to play. Oh, Jaden Studio, the Kent State linebacker, too. None of them
That's
played.
that's definitely newsworthy. Like maybe they're all banged up because that is why Culp didn't play.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way they were rotating people, I'm shocked we didn't see any of those guys play. Studio, Kwame Yao at linebacker,
Yeah.
like they are expected to be pretty big. Honestly, not a lot of linebackers played in the game in terms of like depth. So I think those are their two biggest depth
Well,
pieces. What?
they played some.
Well, no, they played Hendrick, they
Hmm.
played Gannon,
In
they
garbage
played
time, they got some guys in, though.
they got Spiganagi in, Azugua.
Spinagati. Come on. Show some respect to my
What did
Italian
I
brother.
say?
I don't know.
I,
What's your
I
name?
so just it is newsworthy though. Cam McNair not playing is shocking.
Truly
And
shocked.
Jordan
Well, because they
Fuller.
had
And
Rawls
Jordan
us
Fuller.
come in, yeah.
Yeah, but shocking that neither Holy
Yeah.
Cross transfer played.
Nobody asked. Anyway, okay.
I got to start
Third
attending
one.
those.
Third
We got to
one.
start attending those.
I didn't do a quote. I did. I want to go back to the American.
Lazy.
Is it? Yeah, it is lazy. Is it newsworthy or snoozeworthy that USF beats Boise and Tulane beats Northwestern for the playoff hunt?
No. Northwestern is straight booty. And Boise State, I think they're booty too. Like they got like those are two teams that very like Tulane maybe is a little more interesting, but Northwestern didn't let them wear their white jersey, so they felt the wrath of New
That's true.
Orleans, is what John Summerall said. But that game I could not get. Yeah, I would hope you blow out Northwestern. Like they suck. Like sure, it's a Big Ten team, but like so Stanford as an ACC school, and Stanford sucks.
All right,
Like,
fair enough.
okay, cool, you win that game. USF Boise a little more interesting, but USF will
Yeah.
still finish the year with 3 to 4 losses.
Okay. All right.
So snoozeworthy.
Okay. Two snoozes, one news.
All right, you ready for voicemails?
I am. I just want to say that I miss Sig a little bit. Because like newsworthy or snoozeworthy is Chesney's mostly coach speak. There's like one quote per thing that is like kind of interesting.
So now we go to our voicemails. Here's the first voicemail that we got. First ever voicemail that we ever got. Uh, Here it is.
So it wasn't amazingly blowout Dukes by 90 win like everyone thought it would be, but definitely an improvement off of last year. Definitely a better ability to stay composed when there were the issues. Still don't think we're going to beat Louisville. Definitely think we're going to beat Liberty after they struggled against Miami today. Not Miami, Maine, whatever. Lots of beers. Go Dukes. Woo.
All right, yeah, it wasn't what we thought it was, but improvement off of last year's home opener against Gardner Webb.
Yeah, that's also, I don't know. I wouldn't rule him out for the Louisville game.
I love the end. Definitely going to be Liberty after they struggled against Miami today. Not Miami, Maine, whatever. Lots of beers. Go Dukes. This one's from our friend Daniel Merriman. Take it away,
Oh, hell
Daniel.
yeah.
Hello, this is Daniel Merriman. I'm sitting at a Sheets right now filling up my gas and just thinking about the game. Love the dominance. Really happy with how the run game looked. Wayne Knight was a massive surprise. But seeing him rush, seeing Petaway rush, I think Petaway needs more touches. Surprised Ayo did not look as explosive as advertised, but happy he's healthy. AB3's knee, how in the hell is he healthy? I have no clue, but he looked great tonight. Sluka, decent, can't complain. I need to see some more pass rush. Secondary really looked good. Happy with the picks. Can't believe that this offensive line, I saw Robel was out there, glad that he's healthy. but can't believe that they're all, clicking the way they were. Pass blocking looked very solid. Just going to need some more development in the run game, a little bit more chemistry there. But cannot wait for Louisville next week. Really solid showing. Big upgrade over last year with that FCS game. Yeah, very happy. I think it is a worthwhile week one. I think we did our job, got out, learned some stuff about the execution that we need to clean up, but big game one. Go Dukes.
Yeah, common theme here is that it's a better showing than last year's FCS game. Run game did look explosive. I'd like to see Petaway maybe get a little bit more, maybe get it into the end zone on that one he busted out. But hey, Wayne Knight is a great surprise. I am shocked that he is this type of performer.
Good call out on the secondary, which we didn't talk about a whole lot, but like I very much like the secondary, especially the safety room. But the corners seemed like they were solid.
Yeah.
Eaglin was in there. I thought he did a nice job. Barksdale's doing a good job at nickel, and Mekhi Rogers seems like he could really be a special player.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. All right, so moving on. Want to do listener questions?
Yeah, let's fire off some rapid fire listener questions.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, and away we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm just pulling them up. I just didn't have them right available. Okay. This is from Homegrown Dukes, friend of the podcast. With so many rotation players seemingly playing bigger roles in this game, could this be a high-level mind game to not put some of our best playmakers on tape before Louisville?
Pre this game, I would have said no. But after seeing Nick DeGennaro take 44 snaps and get one target, maybe. Like, just so wild to me that, like, DeGennaro did not get used all that much. Wayne Knight was like the RB1 getting a lot of, and they didn't even use Joby that much. And Joby is an NFL quality player. Joby is the best running back in arguably college football history. But
I love that we latched on to Joby. They haven't upped his playing time, but when he does play, he's so good that like it's not even a bit anymore. But like our fandom is just in a perfect spot where like he's like almost like a backup quarterback where he gets a taste and he's perfect, and we're just like, you could have that all game if you wanted it.
We really did. Like, we were like, oh, we saw what 6-foot guy who's 250.
It's just that he's big. That was really the initial start of it, and then he just seems like really happy and runs hard, and we're like, oh, he's actually sweet. This guy's
awesome. I love this guy. I want to get I might get a Joby Mallory jersey.
That's a good idea.
Just to continue the bit. The people that were sitting around us in the stands thought we were crazy, or thought I was crazy because when Joby came in, woo, Joby. Where was I going with that? Oh, pre-game, I would have thought it was crazy, like that they were hiding people. Post-game, I'm like, that makes sense. Because some guys just like did not get the run I thought they would.
Agreed. Okay, Richie Goodman, who we met.
No, we didn't.
Act. Okay, sorry, we did not. Who is the QB when you watched JMU in person for the first time?
Vadley.
Yeah, we're both Vad guys, although I was before you. You were Vad when Vad had really figured out the system. I was Vad when Vad was still learning it.
I was Vad when Vad broke his ankle against Richmond.
Yeah. Aiden Schultz, what was the reason for Nick DeGennaro's limited playing time? I replied to this one and we kind of hit it. He actually had a lot of playing time. He just didn't have a lot of targets.
Which I think, kind of going back to the homegrown Duke's first question, makes me think like they purposely did that. I think he will get like 7 to 10 targets against Louisville because like he is a Big Ten talent. He was recruited to go to a Big Ten school. He's good. I think Nick DeGennaro will be like the focal point of the passing game this next game.
God, I hope so. Stephen A.G., please comment on the first game for Nick DeGennaro, Aiden Gobira, and Jordan Fuller. Thanks.
Nick DeGennaro, we've talked about it. Gobira, I really liked. I think there were flashes. His PFF grades weren't great, but like he's a get off the bus type of guy. He has long arms. He's tall. He's large. And he was impacting the pocket on a couple of plays that make me excited about his growth. Kind of like Eric O'Neal last year. O'Neal didn't have a huge, splashy Charlotte game, but then each game from there, he progressed. I think there's going to be a learning curve for Gobira. He hasn't played football in he was medically retired for goodness sake a year ago. So like there is some rust. You got to get back into game shape, game speed, understand how it all happened. He hardly played while at Notre Dame. So I think Obira by the end of the season will be a standout defensive end.
And then
Oh, and
Jordan
Jordan
Fuller
Fuller
didn't
didn't play.
play, but was in pads. I saw he posted on his Instagram story that he had a picture of him in pads.
Interesting.
Um, from Nova Knows Ball. Curious your guys' thoughts about the lack of pass rush against an FCS offensive line. It did seem there were considerably less stunts and the play calls were vanilla. Do we think this is concerning? And then he followed up and said that he doesn't think it's concerning for the record, but we're just curious our opinion.
I think it's slightly concerning, even if it is vanilla and lack of stunts. Wouldn't you think that like a college football playoff hopeful team would be able to at least get one sack on an FCS team? Like, don't you think that like the defensive line should have been able to like blow up the left guard once? Or like Emmanuel Bush is 350. You're telling he nearly got that one sack though. He just whiffed again and felt like it was last season all over again. He would lead the Sun Belt if he just finished the sacks. But I think it's a little worrisome, not extremely worrisome.
I would agree. Okay, from Chris Lyles. I've asked before, but given the press conference today, which was Monday, so the preview one, is the local media instructed not to ask about injuries, folks that don't play, or quarterback questions? Are those off limits with Chesney?
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
don't know either. It's hard to say. Um, if they aren't off limits, he makes it it makes you not want to ask. Like I think with his responses and the fact that he doesn't answer, so maybe he's almost in like an unspoken thing. But I don't know. Like if it is off limits, I would like the reporters to say that so that we know because I thought it was a little bit confusing. Surprising honestly that there was like a 20-minute availability and nobody asked about like six impactful transfers not playing.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, whenever I do like game prep, like when I'm on the
Yeah.
ESPN Plus call or something, like I'll always finish every call with what's the availability look. If a player's not playing too, you kind of finish it with like what's the status of this player? Why didn't they play last game? Can you share with me who's not able to go this game? And typically coaches will, at least in the sports I'm calling, are typically pretty forthcoming with that information.
Yes, and it's not I don't know,
It's
maybe
also
he
your
thinks it's
job as a reporter to
you
ask
got to
that.
ask at least, yeah. And maybe it's Chesney thinks it's a competitive advantage or whatever. Just for worth noting that Jeff Brom gave an injury update this week and said that starting tackle and a tight end will be out. So
Because
he's not
that's not
scared.
real. Because that's not real. Having
No, of course not.
a competitive advantage is not real. Sorry.
No, the NFL has injury reports.
Be
Most
better.
competitive football league in the planet.
Just be better than the other team. I don't give a damn who's starting at left tackle. Just go out there and be better. Sorry.
Okay. Chris Lyles also said, also it did not seem like quarterback play versus the blitz has improved. Not so much a question, but
Actually, not a question at all.
there weren't a ton of opportunities against the blitz, but yeah, it was kind of concerning. Barnett, like last year's one thing that he wasn't good at was when he was under pressure. Louisville has a
And
good defensive line; they like to blitz, so like, better figure that out real quick.
here we go. And this is a guy coming off an ACL surgery. He looked
Oh, hold
mobile
up.
in the
He
game,
did
but
take
like,
one though where they blitzed a corner. He didn't see it and took a huge sack from his blind side.
yeah. So
So
should
like, I don't
be
know.
so fun on Friday.
I'm interested to see how they react because the pass protection held up great against UNC, which is part of the reason they cooked them.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike Ray, do you see Chesney settling on one starting quarterback or continuing to use a rotation?
I think he has settled on a starting quarterback, Alonza, and I think there will be a rotation of Alonza with Sluka getting 12 to 20 snaps a game.
Yes. Okay. Russ Hoffman, can you review how we match up to Louisville in the trenches and key matchups to watch? We'll do that in our preview.
Preview pod
Maybe
dropping later this week.
so we'll save that in a little bit. What's up with no? This is from JMU 71. What's up with no sacks from the defensive line this weekend? Thoughts? I was a little concerned with the passing offense this week. Should I be, or are they not opening up the playbook in quotes yet?
What do you think?
D line we kind of touched on. I do think they're holding some back in the passing game for sure, and I also still think like there are legitimate questions that Kennedy needs to answer as a play
Yeah.
caller and like an offensive coordinator, because there were times last year when you're like late in the season, like playbook's open, and they were struggling to pass the ball. They kind of blamed it on the receivers. Yeah, the receivers look like maybe they're better than better than they suggested. So I do want to see what it looks like this year. They claim that they love like 7 to 9 wide out. So let's see if you can get the passing game clicking because sub 200 yards is not going to be great most weekends.
I agree. All right.
One
That'll
more.
do it. Oh, one more.
This is from 3 more.
Where are these
Somebody
coming
said
from? I don't even see them on
They were
Twitter.
spam area. Somebody said give Petaway more carries. Not a question. Do you think Petaway should get the ball more?
No.
I think he should.
I think Joby should get
10. He
all the
got 10.
carries.
All
I think
Who runs the?
that is an
No, that's
interesting thing to
that's a
keep an eye
preview.
on, though. Like that will be an interesting thing to keep an eye on because seems like fans really liked Petaway. There were some fans that liked Wayne Knight. Like that will be a fun thing to kind of monitor as the season goes on. The fan feelings towards both the running backs.
Yeah. Okay. The other questions were like preview questions, so we'll save them.
All right, we'll keep them up. So Bennett kind of teased it. We said at the start, we're changing our podcasting schedule. To the House will be every Monday night, except for this week because we're still working through some issues with Riverside. Our new podcast. Yeah, our podcasting recording platform. So we're working through some of that. So To the House came out Tuesday. This came out Tuesday as well. Actually, this is going to come out Wednesday. And then as you're listening to this, there's a little peek behind the curtain on how the sausage is made. Then we'll have a preview podcast coming out Thursday night where we sit down with a guy from Louisville, gives us a breakdown of what to expect out of Louisville, and then we'll kind of do a quick preview as well. So hopefully moving forward, this podcast will run probably around 45 minutes to an hour, and then our second podcast would run probably around 30 minutes or so. Just so you're not getting one behemoth podcast every week. We're splitting it into 2 different ones to try and make a better user experience and all of that fun stuff. So for Bennett Conlon, on the next one, we'll do our fall sports whip around. Until later this week, have a wonderful couple of days, and JMU getting set for Louisville. Can't wait. See ya.